Relationships can be a difficult thing. Sometimes we lose contact, we drift apart. Sometimes we change who we were from the beginning. And other times, maybe it was an unrequited love from day one. Sometimes you may be Mitch Barnhart, and sometimes you can continue to prod the one person who you did not like and did not want from the very start. Stick with us. We'll take you in. What's cooking? Welcome back into Now We Can Talk Like Fans, your local spot for all things Bluegrass State. I guess I'll just say that instead of Kentucky. It's not Kentuckiana. We're not going to talk Indiana, but we are going to talk Kentucky, Louisville, all the athletics happenings that are going in around the Bluegrass State. And of course, a place where fans from both sides can talk like fans. And hopefully we're not going to start a fist fight. Hopefully we're not going to be backstabbing each other, though I guess it's difficult to do in a rivalry. But one thing that you can be certain of is that one man will continue to prod and stab and nudge one John Vincent Calipari, and that is Mitch Barnhart, the mother lover himself, as we will say. The relationship was never a great one. It wasn't perfect. You had some success. You had some good times in the early days, even though he didn't want to hire him from the beginning. But then sometimes you move on. Sometimes you split. Sometimes you get on to Fayetteville with your family and you kind of struggle, but then you make a run in the end. Whatever happens. Both sides, I think maybe there's a little bit of drive there from one John Vincent Calipari to try to make the Final Four. He was so close. So close, but no, he did not. Anyway, going on about the subject, though, is now the University of Kentucky has decided that it's time. It's time to up their standards. It's time to get better. It's time to maybe replace the Joe Kraft Center. Originally opening in 2007, back when I was still in high school, back when I probably had a little bit more hair. The Joe Kraft Center opened then, and of course, many players have come through those doors. A title has been won. Many games have been won. Many NBA players have seen those floors. Have dealt with, I don't want to say mediocrity, but have dealt with in recent years what feels like mediocrity compared to what the standards of a program like the University of Kentucky should be having to sell their future basketball players. And that's one thing that now the University of Kentucky is willing to make a move. As put out in their press release, the Champion Blue LLC endorses pre-design phase for potential Kentucky basketball practice facility and multi-use development. And in this, they talk about how you bring in UK athletics, UK healthcare, and the university's academic enterprise to create a dynamic development and collaboration center that is a multi-use facility for the basketball program, as well as maybe some other programs that will come in there as well. You had UK President Eli Capelouto saying the project represents a kind of forward-thinking collaboration that defines our university mission. By bringing together athletics, healthcare, and research, we are building a future where innovation and impact intersect, advancing Kentucky in every sense. The location of the new facility is still to be determined, and the pre-design phase, during the pre-design phase, but is expected to be an integral part of the sports adjacent district. Additionally, the cost is going to be figured out. We don't know how expensive it'll be. But the University of Kentucky has invested a lot over the last 24 years, $768 million in capital projects to be exact. So, one Mitch Barnhart says, we're looking forward to creating spaces that reflect the excellence and the mission of the University of Kentucky. This facility has the potential to elevate all of our programs while expanding our reach in sports medicine and research. This project provides a distinctive opportunity to build something that reflects the best of what UK does. Additionally, just last year, UK completed $82 million renovation to historic Memorial Coliseum, the largest investment in women's sport in school history. So if you're seeing that's how much they spent for Memorial Coliseum, I'm going to set that as the basis for an amount of what Kentucky is going to spend, probably a lot more, for a basketball facility for the men's basketball team and really investing in that, which is great. It's great. Kentucky has needed this. One man needed this. and one Mitch Barnhart told him to kick rocks. And of course, that was John Calipari, and I had to, it's just funny to talk about that. But more importantly, I want to talk about this. Obviously, SEC, great money. We're doing all right. You know what? Are we going to switch cameras? Let's switch cameras. Let's get serious. Can you hear me? Do I need to move this? Can you hear me? Here's the question that is roaming my mind and what I want to know. The University of Kentucky is obviously committed to their basketball program, and they're obviously committed to Mark Pope. Weren't as committed to one John Calipari. Obviously, he struggled. He moved on. My question is, how committed is Mitch Barnhart and the University of Kentucky to the football program? What kind of hope or promise do the fans of the University of Kentucky have for their football program? 2 weeks in, Amish offense. Don't even think about throwing the damn football at this point. You maybe can get a little bit of run in there, but the defense will be fine. Brad White will still do his thing. And God love Brad White. Brad White is at this point is carrying Mark Pope in his little baby arms. He just Mark Stoops. He is carrying Mark Stoops across the finish line at this point to a win. And then he tried to carry him. He tried to help him get there with Ole Miss, and we all know what happened there. But my question is this: if we get to the end of the year and Kentucky football is a 4-win football team or less, I mean, who knows at this point? What's the response going to be from Mitch Barnhart? Is the response from Mitch Barnhart going to be? Is it going to be a financial number? Or obviously maybe the response, what it really will be no answer at all, which is my expectation. I expect Mitch Barnhart just to not acknowledge it, or we'll talk about it when it's an issue or something like that. What I'm worried about for the University of Kentucky is that we're going to get there at the end of the year. You have all this investment finally coming in to the basketball program, but we're going to be told, nah, too much money, too expensive, too much of a buy. I don't know whose fault could that be? Whose fault? Who could have signed us up? Us. I'm saying us. Who could have signed Kentucky fans up to a few more years of Mark Stoops? And at this point, I don't care what the bromance is. I don't know what kind of photos that Mark Stoops has on Mitch Barnhart. I have no idea what it is that made him be so endearing and so loved up by one Mitch Barnhart. Yes, you took the basketball program from. You had the Rich Brooks days. You had little pops here and there, but overall, yes, he was the one who kind of created the new way of thinking of what UK football is. It's not completely a doormat. It ain't exactly at the top of the sport, but I give him credit. He dominated Satterfield. He got those extensions. Outside of that, once Jeff Brom, if the Cardinals get things going, their offense clicking a little bit better to finish out the year, and they handle the Wildcats once again at home. What's the answer going to be? What's the answer going to be from Mitch Barnhart? Is it going to be, sorry, can't spend the money, too expensive, can't spend $30 million on a buyout. We're going to have him for a couple more years? Because at that point, I think that's inconceivable. If I'm a Kentucky fan, I don't know. It's, as a Louisville fan, I know what it felt like with Kenny Payne, and I understand this is very different than Kenny Payne. But I have no idea what. How do you buy tickets? Who are you selling tickets to? How do you fund your program? Football makes a whole damn lot of money. Who is funding your football program at that point? That's what I want to know. At that point, I that's where I sit. If I were a Kentucky fan, if I bled blue, that's where I would sit with that. I would be frustrated. I would be angry, and I just don't know where to go from here. At that point, it feels like you're just forfeiting on the football program for a personal relationship. So anyway, that's just where I sit with it. That's just kind of my 2 cents on the topic. I wanted to get your all's opinion, though. I really would like to hear what Kentucky fans feel. I want to hear what Kentucky fans are feeling in this moment when it comes to Mark Stoops, his tenure at UK, and of course, the money Is it time to pony up? Mitch Barnhart, we've heard pony up from Mark Stoops. Is it time for you to pony up and get Kentucky football a better coach moving forward? Stick with just let me know your opinions in the comment section down below if you haven't already. Do me a favor, you can follow me on Twitter at Justin Sofro, and of course, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll have hopefully a lot more going forward. Until next time, there's only one thing I care about. That's cards, cats, bourbon, and bluegrass. See y'all.